Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel, and in this video I am going to be making Harvest Time Apple Relish, a delicious recipe that is actually available. I will put a link, but this is from the University of Georgia Extension Office, and they've got some amazing relish recipes. This one, Harvest Time Apple Relish, is so good. So let me tell you what's involved. I have 8 pounds of apples, crisp cooking varieties such as Honeycrisp, Cameo, or Pink Lady. And what you want to do with those is you want to either, it tells you can grate them, or you can peel them and cut them, core them, and cut them in real small pieces. I like a chunky relish. So here is the apples. I've already done that too, and what also I've done is to add a little of the fruit fresh, or you know what you need to put in their lemon juice or whatever to keep them from oxidizing and turning brown. That keeps them looking nice. So I have that. Let me see, I've got 3 cups of distilled white vinegar. I've got 2.5 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water. For spices, there's 2 teaspoons of ground cloves. I've got 8 cinnamon sticks. You need those because they're going to actually cook with the apples, and then they're going to go in the jars. There's also a tablespoon of ground allspice and 4 teaspoons of ground ginger, and there is 4 teaspoons or 1/4 cup of chopped, it calls for red serrano peppers. Those are really, really hot. I got my grocery pickup and these green peppers were in there, and that's fine. You can substitute peppers, and if you're using fresh peppers, don't change the amounts. So there's charts you can see will give you the heat index or the heat of each pepper. And if you're someone who says, ooh, I want this, but I want it hotter, do not increase the amount of peppers. Just look and you can substitute the next hottest pepper. Just make sure that you keep them at the same amounts, which would be 1/4 cup. So I've got my peppers all cut, and of course, little reminder, anytime that you're going to cut peppers and you're going to take the seeds out, wear rubber gloves. I like to cut my pepper down the center and then take my thumbs and just run up the pepper to get all the seeds out and then chop it. So that's just handy. So what I'm going to do, I've got my jars. I've got 8 half-pint jars in my canner ready to go, and I am going to now, the apples are all ready. And then I'm going to combine the vinegar, sugar, water, cloves, cinnamon sticks, allspice, ginger, and peppers. And I'm going to heat those until all of the spices and the sugar dissolves. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the apples and add them to the mixture, which I'll probably drain them and put everything back in this pot because this is a nice big pot. And then I'm going to let those go for about 5 minutes, boiling gently for about 5 minutes until the apples kind of turn translucent. Then we're going to put it in a jar and we're going to can it. So really quickly, what I'm going to do is I've got my little pot here, and I'm going to put the water, the vinegar, and the water, and the sugar. Let's get everything in there. And the sugar. And let me move you over here. There you go. I'm going to put all the spices in there. I'm going to put the cinnamon sticks. Now these are going to come out and actually go in the jars. And I'm going to put the pepper. Now I'm going to put all of that in there. Now I'm going to put that on the stove and bring it to a boil and get everything dissolved well before I add the apples. So as soon as this is boiling and I'm ready to add the apples, I'll come back to you. Okay, everything has dissolved. And so now what I've done is I've drained off these apples because I'm going to use the bigger pot. It's 8 pounds of apples, so there's you need a bigger pot. But you can see everything is dissolved in there. And now I'm going to pour it here, and then I'm just going to put this back on the burner in here. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. The cinnamon, just all of a sudden I got this huge whiff of cinnamon. It was awesome. Okay, so now let me put this pan away. Okay. I've got all my things set out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to a boil. It'll take about 5 minutes for the apples to become translucent, and then we will put them in the jars. And this is my maiden voyage using 4 jars lids, so I'm also very excited about that. And people ask me all the time about my little hot pad things. These are from QVC. They're part of their Temptations collections, and I've had these for years, and they're awesome. So now I'm going to put this back on the stove. bring it to a boil, let it boil for about 5 minutes, stirring occasionally, and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to put it in the jars. I just wanted to show you guys, this is a boiling water recipe, so I'm going to be using my Ball Fresh Tech boiling water canner, which is awesome. Now, I've got plenty of jars in here. Here's the thing. If you have only 8 jars and the boiling water makes them fall over, you can always put extra jars in there. Or, like with this, comes a diffuser, and you can use, you know, the rack from your pressure canner or any other boil water canner, and it kind of holds the jars down. So you can do that too. But these are hot because you don't want to put the hot syrup in a cold jar because it could crack and break. So these are hot and ready to go. That's what they mean by preparing your jars. Also, the other tip is you got to make sure you've got at least an inch or 2 of water above the lids, which I will. And also, because this process is for 10 minutes, I did not have to pre-sterilize these jars. So that's pretty handy. Now I'm going to go check on my apples and see if we're ready to jar them up. All right, this is ready to go. See? Ooh, and it smells so good. You see the spice on the apples? Now, you don't have to peel the apples. I prefer to peel them, but you don't have to peel them. It does say in the recipe that for best quality, you should peel them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my jars. Well, first I'm going to take my little grabbers, and I'm going to reach in there and get the cinnamon sticks out. I'll put them in here, and I'll bring a jar over, and we'll get to jarring it up. All right, I've got my jar out, and I'm ready to jar it up. Now, I do want to tell you, if you are just doing a small batch, you don't have to have a great big huge thing to do your canning in. You can use any size of a pot that will hold your jars as long as they have 2 inches or an inch of water above the top of the jar. So you don't have to use a big canning pot. Now I'm going to make sure that I've got the right headspace, 1/2 inch headspace, so I can put a little bit more in there. And I'm going to debubble this. Now people ask about debubbling for things like when I've done meat, and they're like, don't you debubble? You debubble when there's liquid in there, because then what happens is the liquid gets into the pieces and it'll get like little hiding in there. So you got to kind of make it get out of there, because if you don't, then when it processes, the liquid will go up and the bubbles will go up and the liquid will go down, so you won't have the right amount of headspace left. So that's why. Now I need to wipe my rims. Nice, to make sure nothing. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put one of the cinnamon sticks in there. The cinnamon stick goes in there. I'm going to get it in there. I like so that you can see them from the side. I think that's super cool. Now I'm going to wipe and because I put the cinnamon stick in, now I can see that I've got a little bit extra. So I'm going to put that back to get that headspace just right. Perfect. Now let me wipe it again. And I'm going to try my new 4 jars lids, and these look very sturdy, and I love the fact the white on the bottom is nice and thick, and the rubber on there is great. Now I'm going to put the ring on that comes with them, and you're going to do that just a fingertip tight. I have this ball tool that I love. I've never had a fail with it, and I love it, so I use it every time. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do, see that cinnamon stick in there? And you know what I'm going to use this for? Like in 2 days, we're leaving on a cross-country driving trip. I'm going to put a couple of jars of this in my little Rubbermaid bin. I've got a bin with some things, you know, in case we get stuck or whatever. But I'm going to put a couple jars in this because there's nothing better than if we get a bagel with cream cheese and you mix this in the cream cheese. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You could also use it like with chicken salad, mix it in there for a sandwich. There's just so much. So what I'm going to do, now that you've seen me do 1 jar, I'm going to go fill the rest of the jars, and then I'll show you what they look like in the canner. All right, there you have it. I've got 12 jars in there, and you know, the recipe says 8, but sometimes it's okay. You might get more, you might get less. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this, but you can see how all the jars are covered, at least an inch of water. And now I'm going to turn this on high. I am going to put my little diffuser on top of it just to help hold those jars so that they don't rattle. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm going to, when this comes to a good boil, I will set the timer for 10 minutes. when that's all done and they are finished, I will bring you back and we will see an amazing finished product. My jars are finished and they look fabulous, and the jar lids all look like they sealed fine. They've all popped, and I'm excited about using this. And I will say, I did do it for the 10 minutes, but you would want to make sure, depending on my altitude is sea level, so you want to make sure that you extend that according to your altitude. You might have to add 5 minutes depending on your altitude, so check a guide for that. And also, when you eat this, it's so good, but there's that syrup in there that is so spicy and yummy and great. And what could you use that for? Well, there's a lot. You could use it to marinate pork chops in. You could use it to mix with a little cream cheese and put some raisins on it and spread it on celery. You could use it for to drizzle or to brush pork chops on a grill. There's just a lot. Just don't throw that syrup out. Make sure you use it for something. And there you have it. Harvest Time Apple Relish from the University of Georgia Extension publication, which there will be a link below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.